Morning, folks. Let's get. There's a bug in my hat. There's a bug in my hat. There's a bug. There's a bug in my hat. What is that? It's a grasshopper. Get out of there. Hey, good morning, folks. Lester here, and today we're going to talk more about this amazing artifact that was found here on the property a couple of weeks ago. I want to say thank you, first of all, to all the folks who sent me information, different links and articles. We've identified exactly what this is. We know which kind of rifle it went on. We know where it was made, and we also know why there were no inscriptions on it. It's quite the mystery. We're going to talk about all of that in today's video. But in my opinion, more important than that, we're going to do a flyby. I'm going to take my drone, I'm going to drive down the road, and we're going to fly this thing over Smithfield, which was the staging point for the Confederate soldiers during the Battle of Galveston. Guys, we're going to fly over a Confederate cemetery. We're going to fly around. We're going to do this. And it's going to be a really neat video. You guys come with me. Let's talk some history and see some really neat drone footage. And I'll try not to put my song on there. I know y'all get sick of my song, but I love that song. And I like to have music while I'm flying my drone. Otherwise, it's just so quiet. I'm putting music on there, y'all. I'm just going to put music. That's what I get for leaving my hat laying around. That's also why you don't leave coffee sitting around for very long, because that kind of stuff happens right there from all the dogs walking around, licking the plants and licking your coffee. Oh my goodness. All right, so this over here is a socket bayonet. It was made in the UK, and it was constructed to fit an 1853 model Enfield musket-loaded rifle. All right, I hate to repeat myself for those who've seen other videos, but in case this might be your first time to see this, this bayonet was discovered over here alongside that stump, which is right beside an old trail. That trail leads from the Trinity River right along the backside of my fence over there, about a quarter of a mile, to a series of old cotton fields, which served as a staging area for the Battle of Galveston during the American Civil War. So the next thing you're asking is, Lester, why would it have been British made? If it was during the American Civil War, why would you have found a British made bayonet that went to a British made rifle? And the reason for that is because the British heavily supported the Confederacy during the Civil War. It was never official. England never declared war on the northern United States. But they did support the South in hoping to continue the slave trade, continue the trade and selling, buying of cotton, and all of the resources the South had were a hot commodity for the British. Guys, this is during the British colonial, the empire, the whatever you call that era, where the British were involved in, I don't want to say wars, but the British were involved in colonizing lots of different parts of the world during that time and spreading their influence. And so it is absolutely no surprise to find a British-made rifle part, which socketed onto a British-made rifle, which was supplied by the British to the Confederate soldiers during the Civil War. Now, I would not consider myself a history buff, but I do love history, especially when it pertains to the actual property that we're living on. And I've discovered some really neat things about this place, y'all. Some really neat things. I would like to add a couple of side notes that the northern states were using the Springfield rifle during the Civil War, and the southern states were using well, the Enfield 1853 model. So that same model gun was used all around the world, anywhere that had a British influence, India, and I can't even think of all the different places I was reading about that the British were making and sending their rifles to. That same model rifle. This artifact is valued at about $250. I will never sell it. I don't do that. I'm actually even reluctant to take it inside the house. I'm kind of spooked out by stuff like that. I don't get me started on all that. And but it is a very neat find, and one that I'm very proud of. I'll say this, there were a lot of folks who got on to me for cleaning it, because they were saying the value would have been a lot greater had I not cleaned it. I didn't know, and I didn't care. I'm not going to sell it. I don't care about the value of it. I was happy to sort of semi-restore it to a decent condition with a piece of sandpaper and some WD-40 and then some gun oil. And so I'm really pleased with it. There are no inscriptions, which were not uncommon for British-made rifles, especially when they're being sent to conflicts the British are not supposed to be involved in. I'm scratching my back. So that's why I could not find any inscriptions whatsoever. There's nothing on here to identify where it's from. And the reason I was able to find where it's from is from all the pictures and the videos and the links and the articles that a lot of you guys sent me. So thank you for that. Okay, with no further ado, it's time to take to the air. Y'all ready? We're gonna take to the air now. All right.
I didn't think you could overdose on pain.
All right, this is the site of Smithfield, and it's a very large pasture. I would say probably 20 acres or so. There's a tree line up ahead, and then there's more pasture back behind that tree line. If you're asking why I didn't fly my drone here, I tried recently. My drone would only make it as far as the power lines. A drone does have a max limit on how far it can travel, a max altitude, a max distance, and I did max my drone out. That's why I wanted to pull up over here. The reason that I don't actually get out of the truck and walk the land is because I've not been able to reach out to the owners. I have found who they are. No one lives here. So first of all, no one lives here. No one lives on the premises. So you don't have to be concerned about that. I'm not quote unquote trespassing, but I am gonna fly my drone over. If I ever can find the actual owner or find someone who knows the owner who can get in contact with them, then I will by all means ask permission just to walk around. I'm not going to dig. I'm not going to metal detect. I just want to walk around. So for now, we will take the drone up. You guys come with.
Do you remember we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's coming in the air now. Hold on.
very interesting, and I love the fact that it's so close in proximity to longhorn lusters. I think that the number one problem a lot of folks may have with this particular video is the fact that I flew a drone over what is, well, it was clearly listed as private property. I don't really know exactly how I feel about that. I'm not like flying a drone over a kiddie pool with women out sunbathing. You know, I tried to respect privacy by staying nice and high. I don't know how I feel about that, because I don't know how I would feel if all of a sudden I saw a drone flying over my property. Well, it was nice and high, Lester. We weren't circling around you in the hot tub. It was just trying to see the animals or whatever. I don't really know. And I guess in a way I feel semi-guilty for doing that. But I let my curiosity get the best of me. But I need to try to find a way to reach out to the owners of that property, because my mind wants to know more. I can't let it go. I need to know more. And anyway, what a neat experience. Thank y'all for going along with me. Thank y'all for listening as I describe some of the details of the bayonet. And just to think, y'all, just to think about the history of this place. I don't know what I'm more intrigued by. I'll tell you what I want to do, though. I want to look at the names and the dates. I want to know the names and the dates on those gravestones there at that cemetery. My dad will know exactly, but I believe I do have a great uncle who was wounded at that battle of Galveston. And then I don't know the history, but here's what I'm guessing. Did the soldiers who died there, let's just say that they were soldiers who died that were unable to be identified. Maybe they washed up later. They didn't have the forensic stuff that they have today, guys. Did they make that just become the cemetery for those guys? Or were these the soldiers from that battle who died, who were from this area? Maybe put them in a general, I don't know. There's so many questions. There's so many darn questions. And anyway, Jamie did some Google searching, and the guy who owns that property lives in Kansas. And I'm thinking, Kansas? Kansas? But now I just have so many more questions, and I thank y'all for watching. And we're gonna I don't know how to end the video. It was funner and gooder hanging out with you, I guess. I'll just say it was funner and gooder trespassing with you guys. As long as I'm gonna get caught for trespassing, you're going down with me. But I'm doing it for the right reasons. Can you do something wrong for the right reasons? How do y'all feel about that? Lester, you did something very wrong, but for the right reason, I'm just going to go with that one. Yes, Your Honor, I did something wrong, but for the right reason. And there's a lot of folks who support me on this one, Your Honor. Y'all better support me on this one. All right. We'll catch you guys on the next video.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.